Hey guys, hope you're doing good. This is a bad spot to start a video. There's a Ferrari, Maserati. Uh, they have a lot of Aston Martins and cars, cool cars over there, which I am in no position to be purchasing at this point in time or in my foreseeable future. It's amazing the people you see out there buying those things. Anyway, bad use of 30 seconds. I apologize. So today what I want to talk about is lately I have a hard time saying reseller community. I know the majority are good, but there's a few out there that I hate to associate myself with. And it's not any content creators, it is people that watch videos that are extremely negative. So if you're one of those people, you should know who you are. Just be positive or go away. Anyway, but there's been some talk from a couple different channels versus other channels, and resellers versus other resellers, and it's really goofy, but I thought it does have some valid point, and that's people who talk about hustle versus people who talk about a business. And in a lot of ways, it is just semantics, I believe. And it's how people think of using the term hustle. And so, me growing up, which actually, I think of these ideas, and then, like I said, I do a lot of my videos when I'm driving, because that's just when I have time to do them. But I should have looked up the actual definition of hustle. Maybe I'll put it in the notes. But growing up, the way I was raised, hustle was a negative term. You had hustlers that were known, they were shady, people that were trying to scam other people. Was the connotation that was given to me by my, parents and grandparents. That's what they thought. I don't think that's what it means anymore, and so I think a lot of it is a generational, maybe a wrong term, but it's a weird. That's all it is people like Reezy Resells, for example. I got told to watch his videos, and I looked at some of his early videos, and just the way he talked, the way he put himself across, was really hard to take for me, just because from my background versus his background. And there's nothing against him. It's actually something against me, because I was judgmental in a way because of the way he talked. That was my problem. And he has a ton of good information. And he has toned the way he presents himself down to where he actually is pretty easy to watch. And he made that decision on his own. He mentioned it in a video, just so he could appeal to more people. He realized that. But, that bias was my bad. And I think that hustle term kind of gets some bias from, people that have a similar background to mine. But yet, Craigslist Hunter, Pete from Craigslist Hunter, he uses the term hustle. I think his shirts, he says hustle harder. And in my mind, when he says that, he's meaning work harder. This business, and when he's talking about working a business. Pete owns a business. Pete has a storefront. There's no doubt Pete owns a business. And when Pete tells you that, in my opinion, Pete's telling you to work harder. Because Pete is one of those guys who has never said that this is a get-rich-quick type business. You got to put the work in. The profits are there, but you got to put in the work. And that's what I said. I learned it from them. So you get some of these guys that are more, for lack of a better term, they're, street. They're, they maybe had a harder upbringing. And so they've had to work for everything they have, versus, say, my parents were both blue collar work. But if I'm 100% honest, they made me work for everything I got. They never gave me a car. I had to buy my own car, had to pay my own insurance, had to, you know, do all that stuff, which I appreciate that they made me work. But I was never lacking anything growing up. My parents took very good care of us. I never had, you know, I had, you know, every family has issues, but I never had anything that I would consider a hardship growing up. So I came from a completely different upbringing than, say, you know, Reezy or, you know, even Craigslist Hunter. The idea of immigrating from another country, I don't know his whole story, but you know, Jackie Cation puts it this way: is that no one's immigrating because they're sitting on Scrooge McDuck money at home. You know, let's pick up and move to another country because we're doing great here. You know, obviously he moved here because he wanted to improve something, and he has accomplished that. And to him, he refers to that as a hustle. He also refers to it as a business. But then you also have some people who, they have an upbringing probably similar to mine. They use the term business, and they kind of shy away from the term hustle. And again, I think that is just, like I said, it's semantics. But one way I do see it as an application is this. It's hard to see. There's an AC unit in the back of my Explorer right now. And in my regular business, which my business right now is my handyman maintenance work and reselling. So in my business, I took this AC unit out, worked perfectly. It just made too much noise for the person who bought this house. They wanted a quieter one. They bought a very expensive AC unit to replace it that was just quiet. It's like 30 decibels. You can barely hear the thing run. This one works fine. And she says, do you want it? Take it. Do whatever you want with it. I don't want to just throw it away, which is great because that's Freon in it. And I said, yeah, I'll take it, test it. She goes, oh, it works great. And I did. I took it home, tested it. She says, I don't need it, and I don't want it to go in the trash, so recycle it, do whatever you can do with it. So I threw it on KSL, one of my local ads here. I'm in Salt Lake, and sold it for $40. The guy was supposed to meet me this morning. That's what I was waiting on. He didn't end up meeting me, but he messaged me. We're going to meet later this afternoon. So, to me, in my business mentality, that is part of a hustle. I'm hustling in my business in order to increase profits. I could have just tossed that in the recycle and not, but I'm going to get some extra money out of it. Now, business decisions are when I sit down and I'm looking at, you know, OfferUp or KSL, and I negotiate things like this box of unopened exit signs, 28 of these. These are actually not made anymore. Most of the ones you see now, they're LED, which is nice, but they're all plastic. These are cast aluminum. These are high-end exit signs. And I picked these up for about $10 a piece. Yeah, is what I ended up in them at. So, got these for $10 a piece. They'll probably sell for 30 or 40 plus shipping on eBay. And I got 28 of them. So, 16? 23 of them. So, I got 23 of those. So, business decision from my background is, okay, I'm going to shell out $200 on 23 of these, knowing that I'm going to get $30 back. So, therefore, probably a $20 profit. So, $400 worth of profit. So, I'm putting in this money. I'm putting in 200, and I'm going to get back 600. That's where, that's a long-term business decision, whereas to me, hustle is the short-term business decisions that keep you going day to day. That's where you kind of get that mix of short-tail and long-tail items. That is how I prefer to have my store. So anyway, if you hear those terms used, honestly, I think a lot of it is semantics. I think, Reezy, for example, he says, follow my hustle. he's talking about following his business. That's what he does. You know, and Reezy has a business. Reezy doesn't have a store. He's running out of his garage, but Reezy has a business. Craigslist Hunter has a business. And the people that don't like that term, I'm not saying anything negative about them either, but I honestly just think it's a semantics thing. So, you know, keep working, keep hustling, as it were, and build your business up, and you'll go from there. But just remember, neither one of those terms, hustle or business, neither one of those terms denotes that you don't have to work. Again, the rewards are there, but you got to put the work in. So, till next time, keep listening, keep sourcing. Finally, I got to the point I hardly have any pictures or any inventory that I don't have listed. So, you know, you make your money when you buy, but get that stuff listed, because it ain't doing anything. You're just hoarding it unless you're listing it. So, if these are helping you out, hit that thumbs up, like button. If you want to see when the next one comes out, be sure and subscribe. If you've got any questions for me and my business, you know, either send me an email from my contact info, or, you know, put them in the comments. I try to get back to everybody as quick as I can. We will talk to y'all next time.